Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander.
And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Sab-Sunen Luxa Embodied. For 3 colorless, 1 green and 1 blue, she's a legendary creature, 6/6 god with reach, trample, indestructible, and Sab-Sunen can't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it, 0 is even. And at the beginning of your first main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on Sab-Sunen. Then if it has an odd number of counters on it, draw 2 cards. So the first thing I thought when I saw this card was, hey, there we go again. It's Simic with insane value, insane stats, and insane card draw, because that's basically the only thing that Simic does at this point, and they always just have the most over-the-top cards, and this seems no exception. For starters, a 5-mana 6/6 reach, trample, indestructible would obviously be insane. Of course, it has the downside, and I use downside very loosely here, of only being able to attack if it has an even number of counters on it. So the idea is basically every other turn you're going to draw 2 cards, and then every other turn you're going to be able to attack with this. Of course, the slightly awkward thing is it's going to come in first with 0 counters on it, and on that turn you could attack, but of course it doesn't have haste. So then the next turn you're going to get to draw 2 cards, but you're still not going to be able to attack with it because it's going to have an odd number of counters on it, which means that you'd have to wait till the second turn after you play this for it to be able to attack, which of course makes it quite slow. However, it's not like there aren't a million ways to get around any of these problems in Simic. For starters, you got tons of ways to proliferate counters onto this, thus modifying the amount of counters it has. There's also, of course, a bunch of abilities that can remove counters from one thing and put them on another. Those work very nicely with Sab-Sunen, because what you can do is draw 2 cards from this at the beginning of your main phase, then add or remove a counter from it, at which point it can attack. It's going to pack a real beating and going to be very, very difficult to remove thanks to the indestructible. The reach is kind of nice as well, because sometimes you're just getting beaten down by flyers, and this can just stop people in their tracks. Though most of the time, of course, you are going to be using it on offense. So when you factor how easy it is to manipulate counters, this actually reads more like a 6/6 with reach, trample, indestructible for 5 that also puts a counter on it every turn and draws you 2 cards. Is that insane? Yeah, that's actually insane. Completely broken and shouldn't require much build around at all to make it very, very good. It's my pick for one of the most busted commanders in the set already. It's just insane, and it doesn't even need to be a commander. It can fit really nicely in any counter strategy because, yes, it's a little bit slow in the sense that you're not going to get to draw the 2 cards immediately, but by the time your next turn comes around, you've already drawn 2 cards, and at that point, you don't even care that much if it gets removed. But beyond that, you can still start attacking with it because you'll have plenty of ways of putting counters on it. The other thing you can do, of course, is give this haste or cast it at instant speed, and at that point, you can then draw cards immediately on your first main phase, or you can just attack with it the turn it comes down. Those are a little bit more niche. I think it's going to be definitely better to just focus on manipulating counters with this, particularly since it's growing as you put the counters on it. This can kill with commander damage very, very quickly. So yeah, another insanely powerful new toy for Simic, nothing much to see here. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think though? Do you disagree with me, or do you think I got it right? Let me know in the comment section below. I always make sure to read all of your comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.